No sacrifice, no victory. Today we are talking about taking our power back. Too many people have taken my power away from me, and I'm sure I have taken power away from people as well. But you know what? The buck stops here at this buck moon, at this full moon in Capricorn coming up on July 3rd. Very, 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 very powerful time of release. It's not a big moon for big things, as Marin Altman said. I'll put a link below. I didn't write it down. I'm paraphrasing, but one of the things that really got to me was when she said, it's time to set your boundaries and really let things and people go. And she talked about freezing them out and like taking their name and putting it on paper and putting it in a water bottle and putting it in her freezer to like freeze them out of her life. So maybe this full moon, it's time for you to do that too. It's insane and awesome and cool, all the energies that are happening on the planet. And, you know, I have so much to share with you. I've been taking notes ever since I got this vibe from Spirit that they wanted me to talk to you guys today. And we are in the waxing gibbous energy of the moon cycles. As a lot of you know, I have another channel called The Magical Medium. There's links all over here on this channel to take you over there. Lots of beautiful free readings. I've got picker readings and I've got moon cycle readings and just a lot of cool shit and just how I've like been evolving. I don't know what's going to happen. They don't have me shutting it down yet. They have me put out shorts still, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just going with the flow of it, and I'm actually really, really grateful for like the way that things have been going and the way that things have been flowing. And I had some like major like come to Jesus moments with Jesus and the spirits. My crown chakra right now is like and I'm hearing from Spirit like open your crown chakra, open your crown chakra. In fact, you know what? Before we go forward, because I only have about 17 minutes on here today, I want to, if you would just humor me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Take in breaths any way you want to breathe. There's all different people do breath work, whatever. If you like to go, you know what I mean? Like anything you want to do, if you know, whatever feels good to you. But just take in 3 deep breaths. You know, if you want to release stuff, right? Sorry, but like, right? However you want to do it, or I invoke the power of the healing energies of the universe. I interesting. I impart my energy into the energy of the healing energies of the universe, but I especially call on the Reiki energy. Yes, thank you, Spirit. Thank you for helping us heal from the inside out and the outside in. Thank you for healing and balancing our chakras and clearing them away from that which no longer serves us. Our auric field as well. Please declutter the debris. Push it far from me, from us. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. As above, so below. I call in all the energies that wish to flow in this space, in this healing, in this transmission. Thank you, Spirit. I give you permission. And all you have to do is say, I give you permission, Spirit, to invoke these healing, impart these healing energies inside of me as well. Thank you, Spirit. Another new mantra that we've been working with is, I trust you, Spirit. I trust you, Spirit. I trust you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. This healing circle is open, and it'll remain open as long as you need it. Call upon the healing energies of the universe when you need them. You don't have to be a Reiki to invoke healing energies into your body and your mind and your soul, which we are doing here today. From the inside out and the outside in. Thank you, Spirit, for blessing us. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to do more research on this full moon and Capricorn energy. And I will put a link in the comments for to that shorts that really grabbed my attention. I really felt that from Marin. She's a badass astrologer, and I've really been working with her and her energy, her higher self. She's really powerful. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Marin. Thank you, Spirit, for blessing Marin and us and all those that are here today, and for blessing all of those who know not what they do. We are the transformers, the shapeshifters. We are here to tell the truth. We are here to hold the mirrors up. And sometimes that mirror comes to our face, right? And we must look at ourselves. So if we're being triggered, or if something is happening, we must look inside. I'm opening my eyes, but you can keep yours closed. It's time to face our shadow for real. I have been having so many moments, so many beautiful, beautiful, hard, tough moments where I've had to take my power back, where I've had to say, hey, no, this isn't working, or no, hey, no, I didn't give you permission to take that from me. And are you allowing people to take your power? With that being said, I'm going to bring some messages forward that I channeled, okay? So this may be for one person, this may be for several people. I have no idea who this is for. But I kept getting these energies of October 18th, 1971. That was the first one. October 18th, 1971. So I don't know if that's somebody's birthday. I don't know if something happened on that day. I didn't even look it up. If you're interested, look it up and see if something happened in history. If you want to share with the tribe, awesome. But it could be someone's birthday. I have no idea. I really don't know. But then shortly after that, I saw October 20th, 1970. It could even be the numbers being together, but they really felt like dates or birth dates or death dates or some type of date that was really important, whether to you or in history or something that maybe changed the timeline or the trajectory. I recently watched this guru shaman guy. I don't know much about him. I wasn't like pulled to learn more about him, but all I was pulled to was the message that they put forward was that when we're sleeping, we're just in other dimensions. And it was really interesting to me because at first I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. You know, I was like, that makes so much sense for like my shit and like astral traveling and all that, right? Because I've always told people, I'm like, they're like, you're so gifted. I'm like, you can do what I do. You can do what I do. My crown chakra is itchy. That means that there's something going on with your crown chakra. It's blocked. Work with your crown chakra, all of us. It's like Spirit's trying to give us the message. They're knocking, and they're like, we're trying to give you the message. We're trying to give you the breadcrumbs. Like, you have to pay attention. And sometimes if we're in, you know, it's like when you text somebody or message somebody, they're going to read it in the energy that they're in, right? So if you're in a really good mood and you're having the best day ever and somebody sends you a message that's like, dude, you really pissed me off today, you know, blah, 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 blah. If you read it and you're in a good mood, you might be like, dude, he's really mad right now. But if you're not in a good mood either and you're in your shadow's like, oh, really? I'm good. Let us go. Let's go. And that happened with me yesterday. And I realized, and then it took me like, you know, some time to sleep on it. And I went into a dream state and I thought about what that dude said because I was like, I have some really weird fucking dreams or like whatever where it's like that shit, like what fucking universe is that? But then I'm like, well, it's a universe that I created, right? So I guess it is real. You know, do you go back to the same dream or the same place? You know, I waited tables and bartended for years, and I would have these dreams, you know, that I was like, you know, that I couldn't get to them, or I'd get like, you know, quadruple sat, or I'd get like my whole station sat like 5 or 7 tables like all at once, you know, and that like you can't get there, your feet are in quicksand. If you've ever been a server or bartender, please comment below if you like know what I'm talking about. You know, but it's like any type of, it's just PTSD. So any type of thing like that, you know, where like you worked for somebody who like, you know, it is. So that is just, I've had a lot of jobs at this point, and I've worked in everything from like hardcore politics, working with like up like senators and congressmen. Like I'm like a hair away from the president. I've done jobs like that. And then I've like had jobs where I've like, you know, bartended at the Divia's dive bar where like I open at 7, to get it ready, and like people start walking in at 7:30. You know what I'm talking about? Like the regulars, like the guys. Okay, so like I've seen it all. I've worked in fine dining. I've worked with rich people. I've worked with famous people. I've had famous people as my boss. I've had, I've seen so much shit. And at the end of the day, people are people, so why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. I think something like that, right? But that's what I'm feeling right now. So even if it's not the lyrics, that's what I feel. So it's like, we have to ask ourselves, like, where our power lies and who we're giving it to and why. And Spirit wants us to really start looking at that, looking at our power and like what it means, right? And not power like, I'm going to beat your ass, or power like, yeah, oh, I'm going to get the last word in. No, power is residing in the strength of like love and not reacting. And unfortunately, yesterday, the situation I was in, I was like, I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. And it made me realize that, like, even when I'm stoned and I'm like in my place where I don't think I'm going to deal with anything like that, it's like something comes up. And so I was like, wow, I wasn't prepared for this. What is happening? You changed the rules, you changed the game. Like, what's happening? Like, it was really, really off-putting. And then I just went into this anger spiral about it. And then my Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde came out. I actually just did a shorts for that. I'm going to be putting that out soon, probably around the moon. So this full moon in Capricorn is really powerful because it's about setting boundaries and really saying goodbye to certain things. And before I saw Marin Short, I was getting the energy from Spirit that I was going to do something around the full moon about taking our power back, because also I got these downloads from the past masters. Like, it was the Beatles, but it was from their past masters album. Like, basically I was listening to music and I was getting ready and all of these downloads came through. So, he's like, get back to where you once belong, right? So take your power back, get back to where you want. Like, some of us have gotten off track, or it's okay. Like, that's the track we took, but now we need to go somewhere else. Hint, hint. For those of you who've been following my story, it's like, it gets to a point where you're just like, how much is enough? And when is it like, this is, yeah, you are not allowed to take anything from me without my permission. And if I don't speak my truth now, if I don't say whatever, then we're allowing people to trample over us, to take advantage of us, to manipulate us, and it's like, they don't have a right to do that. Just like you don't have a right to give your power to them. So don't. It's very, very important. And honestly, I wouldn't change anything. I've learned so much. I am stronger. I'm a fucking warrior. Honestly, like I went from like in this moment of like whatever and like not happy and like anger bubble and the whole thing, to like working it out through my dream state, through meditation, through Spirit. And now here with you, I'm sharing it with you and realizing like, we just got to work through it. And now I'm okay again and everything's good. And I'm like, all's well that ends well. Like sometimes you just have to get to a point where you're like, I am no longer going to be, that punching bag, that pegboard, especially for this. A lot of us were sensitives, right? So the ancestors, the past masters, the ancestors are just saying, get back to where you once belong. But then he said Joe and Loretta, and I felt like those names meant something. So if the name Joe, like while you're listening to this, if you had any hits, if there's something or someone related to the word Joe or Loretta, because I literally, when he was like, get back home, Loretta. So it's either like, that's somebody who's like, get back home, like you need to face things. Let me tell you something. About 5 or 6 years ago, 2 years in a row, I had to go home for weddings, and like, I if you've been following me, you know the stories. I'm not going to get into it here today, but I learned so much about myself, my family, just like everything, who I am, who I'm not. And I was like, I need a long break from you. I'm not saying I'm never going to talk to you guys again. I'm just like, I need a long fucking break from you. We are so different. I need to be who I am and really, really know who I am before I can ever do that, if I ever do that. But that was really interesting. So for some of you, it might be time for you to go home. Also, it was the 2009 remastered. So go back into your life and look at what was going on in 2009. Even if you're new to this channel and you're 20 years old and you're like, 2009, like what? You know what I mean? It's like something, even if you were 5 or you were 7 or you were 10, or you know what I mean? Childhood trauma, inner child, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. They want us to face our shadow. And from the time you see this until the full moon in Capricorn, and even if you see it after, until the next full moon, work with these energies, release these energies, and face your shadow. Tell your shadow you love your shadow. Tell your child you love her. You know, like I may be Lula, but my inner child, like I was born Kellyanne. So like sometimes I just like picture me like holding like little Kellyanne because like she was so awesome and funny and cool, but like so many people wanted to break her. They couldn't, they either were jealous of her or they were annoyed by her. And so over years and over time, I became everything everybody wanted me to be. And I was a fucking plethora of a bunch of people that were not me. And even now, when I was getting angry about certain things, I'm like, I have, in our chart, we are made up of masculine and feminine, 10 different quadrants, right? I don't know astrology exactly, but I'm learning, you know, but 7 out of the 10 of those are masculine energy in my chart. I'm almost all Sagittarius, which is kind of crazy. It's like, you know, it's almost like each, because we have one of each sign in our sign. It's like I have one of each or whatever, but then it's like I got a shitload of Sag everywhere else, and you know, and Jupiter and like all these things. And I am made of luck and money and wealth, and I have found that I have given my power away and given it to too many people instead of using it for myself. And so there's just a lot, and we're going to be talking more about this for a while. I feel like from now until the Lionsgate portal on August 8th, it's going to be, you know, by the way, happy July. It's July 1st, and happy birthday to my brother. I started to bawl my eyes out when this started because I don't talk to my brother anymore. I haven't talked to him in literally, I don't even know how many more years, 15 or more. It's been a long time. And it's heartbreaking and it's sad, but you know, I wish him well wherever he is. I love him so much, and I wish I could talk to him about certain things now, you know, because I believe he'd believe me. Anyway, so take your power back. That's the biggest one. Is there anything else? Oh, and the last thing from Spirit is the time is now. There is no other time. The time is now. We are in the refine and focus energy of waxing gibbous. So refine and focus on what it is and who it is that you need to relinquish and let go. Because this full moon in Capricorn, like Marin said, it's not like a bunch of like ragey whatever, but it is the first supermoon of the next. There's 4 supermoon. I think it's the perigee. It's when the moon is closest to the earth this time of year. So 4th of July, we've got in America, July 3rd, the full moon is before the 4th of July. I've got about 20 seconds. So, you know, this full moon, it's a super moon. It's going to be supercharged. So you may want to keep your distance from those people that you're not ready to, you know, no sacrifice, no victory. The time is now. There is no other time. Ugh. And the Transformers, they've been coming around. Go see the Transformers movies. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if it's good or not, but it doesn't matter. I feel like it's a message from Spirit for us, the light workers. Until next time, I love you. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh, bye.